Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. You're welcome to our TA program information session. I know you guys have been expectant and waiting to hear from the foundation. I'll quickly introduce everyone on here so that we can start the session. And sincere apologies. And sincere apologies for starting very late. We had like technical glitch and a bit of technical glitch, and we had to resolve that. My sincere apologies. So I'm just going to quickly introduce everyone on here. So we have Adora Okoli, who is the Entrepreneurship Programs Executive at the Foundation. I'm sure you're very familiar with her. And then we have a new team member, Tobena. Tobena is the Mentorship Executive and will be handling mentorship going forward. We also have our famous Fuku Rollins, who will be supporting with the French translations. Then we have a new team member as well, but he's not on here. He will join soon and we'll do a proper introduction. He's the new Director of Operations at the Tony Elumelu Foundation. His name is Mr. Arinze Udenka. Once he joins, I will do a proper introduction. So I don't waste much of our time. We'll go straight into the session. So firstly, I'd like to say sincere apologies. You haven't heard from us. We haven't had like a proper one-on-one session just to discuss some aspects of the program, next steps, when is shortlisting happening, when are we selecting, when is seed capital, and I know a lot of people have been sending emails and we're trying our best to, respond to all your emails on time. So I'll just quickly hand over to Foucault to quickly translate to French and we'll kick off with the session. Thank you. Over to you, Foucault.
Yes, thank you, Ibukun. OK, bonjour tout le monde et bienvenue à cette session. Donc, après tout ce qu'on a passé depuis le mois de mars, nous allons lancer cette session.
We are unable to hear you. Kindly check your connection properly. And you don't have to, switch on your video if the internet or the connectivity isn't strong. You can just talk through to save your connectivity.
Are you hearing me, please?
Oui, je disais bonjour tout le monde. Donc, vous êtes la bienvenue une fois de plus pour cette énième session. Nous les mises à jour afin que la suite du programme puisse bien se passer. Donc, en ligne, vous avez notre habituel Ibukun, Okola et un nouveau qui s'appelle Tobena. Thank you. Over to you, Ibukun.
Okay, thank you very much, Foko, for the introduction. So I will go straight into the discussion for today. So it's simply around the pitching. I've gotten lots of complaints, lots of, inquiries around, my business plan was not reviewed. My business plan was not reviewed properly, or the feedback I got wasn't satisfactory. We've gotten lots of, feedback. So I'm going to address that. I will just wait for Adora to quickly pull out the frequently asked questions so we can just run through the questions that entrepreneurs would usually ask us, and we can just run through all of that quickly. Adora, kindly, upload or share your screen so that they're able to see the frequently asked questions and I can talk through. So just give us a minute, please, so we can quickly do that. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Adora, for sharing your screen. So I'll just quickly run through. So some of the questions we've been getting is around when would the business plan and pitch review end? It's ending this month. So I'm sure you guys are happy. Let me clap because a lot of people have been really expectant. So it's ending this month, and we're going to start the shortlisting process very soon. So just to say that the whole essence of the business plan and pitch video review is really to give you comprehensive feedback and thorough and do a thorough review, right? Because what happens is a lot of people, at the end of the day, are also looking for second stage funding or other opportunities after this opportunity, or for those that do not get the seed funding. It's always good that you have your business plan reviewed by a qualified or world-class audit company so that whatever feedback they give you can go back and implement, and you have a solid business plan that you can use for other funding opportunity. Hence, it's very thorough, because a lot of people came back to say, oh, I put this, I put that. Yes, you put that, but from their end, because they're experts, they're business experts, it's not thorough enough, it's not comprehensive enough. Hence, they are giving you feedback and areas of improvement. And to also say that the business plan and pitch videos review, right, is not the only criteria for selection. And we said this during the onboarding in March. We, reiterated this so many times to say that there are other criteria we consider. It's the same way with training. Performance score was not the only criteria we used to shortlist people to the next phase of the program. We also considered regional balance, because it's a Pan-African program, and we need to ensure that we select across all 54 African countries. We have gender balance. We are not going to select bulk of the guys or bulk of the women. There has to be a balance. And there is also performance score, which comes into play, which is why I said that's not the only thing we look out for. So we have partner requirements. Partner requirements vary. Hence, we do not say this is a definite partner requirement. Partner requirement could be anything. It really depends on what the partner wants, right? And because the partner is the one funding, we have to go with the selection that they want. And like I always say, not everyone will be selected. And that is the truth, right? Not everyone will be selected, right? But doesn't necessarily mean that you haven't done well, or your business or pitch video is not great, or you haven't. It's just that because of the sort of criteria we have, which we have to follow very well and we have to follow closely, we are unable to select everybody, right? Then we have something we call timestamp. So for instance, you select two women and they're from the same country and they have similar scores. They're both from the same country, gender, they're both women, their scores are the same. And partner requirement most certainly, is the same as well. We now have to use the timestamp who submitted what first. So the person that submitted his or her business plan or pitch video or whatever documents will be selected. So that's why, and because we want a free and fair process, that's why I'm stating what the criteria are. So people know. So we're not only considering your score, we're considering other things, right? And I don't want anybody to feel bad to say, oh, after all the things I've done from January, I wasn't eventually selected. It happens, right? Because out of, how many thousands, we're only going to select a certain number. We cannot select everybody. So please bear with us, and that's why I'm stating it here, so it's clear and everybody understand what the process is. So also the feedback simply highlights areas of improvement. We will confirm your eligibility, your final eligibility status by third week of October. This third week of October will most likely move to end of October into first week in November. We're going to send a communication regarding this, just so everybody is aware. The entrepreneurs or the participants that have been selected will receive an email, an eligibility email. Those that are not selected will also receive an email letting them know what their status is. So it's going to be very clear. But please, I want to implore you, if you get an email saying you have not been selected, please, there is no need coming back to the foundation to say, oh, what happened? Because we have done a thorough shortlisting process, right? And I understand that everybody's expectant. Everybody wants funding or needs funding to run and launch and run a successful business.
Please, your mic is mute. Ibukun, your mic is mute, please.
You know, she's very, very, very supportive. She's dedicated, you know, so imagine she has. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, please, can you raise your hands if you can hear me?
Yes, it is okay now.
Please raise your hands in the chat if you can hear me. So please, for every time you're unable to hear me, kindly, you know, just indicate or just, you know, put in the chat, say there is no sound, I can't hear you. So if you can hear me now, please kindly indicate that you can hear me. People are still saying they can't hear me. There's no audio. No, the entrepreneurs are saying we can't hear.
There is audio now.
Adora, share your screen, share. Adora, stop sharing your screen. Let me increase my, you guys should reduce your volume. It's even loud. I can hear from your earphones. Adora, share your screen again. Okay, so sorry. Can you guys hear me now? If you can hear me now, please just put a comment in the chat to say you can hear me. Okay, so as I was saying, I'm sorry for, you know, the interruptions and, you know, and the lag. We sincerely apologize. Sincere apologies. If you want to track your pitching platform, track your progress, please click on the link. Everyone has this link. This is the same link you use to access the platform to be able to upload all your documents, your video pitch and business plan. So please do that. Then we have another issue here. So we had a lot of people that uploaded their videos in different languages. So you indicate that you're French speaking, your videos are in English, or you indicate that you're English speaking, your videos are in French. Kindly note that at every point in time when you come on the platform, you are expected or required to choose your preferred language. This is not a platform issue. If you do not speak, the platform does not change your video pitch to another language, neither does it change your business plan that you have uploaded to another language. What could have happened is at the point of uploading, you did not select your preferred language, hence it remained in English and your content was actually in French. Kindly note that we sent a guide, right? A manual, you know, just for everyone to know what they need to do from the start of uploading, right? And, you know, doing all their documentation. You are supposed to pick your preferred language. It is very, very critical that you do that. If you do not do that, or if you did not do that, it means that you've been disqualified from the program because we have assigned those documents to the actual reviewers for those languages. So imagine a French speaking reviewer seeing an English video. She's not going to review it because it was clearly stated that you should pick your preferred language at every point in time on the platform. We reiterated this. We had several sessions where we mentioned this, right? So I just want to run through everything, Foucault, so you can now translate. It's just an FAQ. So Adara will run through this exact sheet so you can take everything. So those are the main, the key things, or the frequently asked questions that we've been getting. I've touched on when eligibility status would be communicated. I've touched on the criteria. I've touched on submitting in different languages. It's automatic disqualification from the program. And there is no, it is not a case of, oh, the platform did this to me, the platform did that. You know, for cases where we had platform issues, we reached out to the entrepreneurs to re-upload before we closed the platform. So if you did not choose your preferred language, it is on you, because we mentioned this so many times and we told people to be very careful, check what you're sending, check your videos properly, you know, watch your videos before you upload, you know, do your own due diligence before you upload. So we mentioned this so many times. Timelines for submitting your bank details. We haven't communicated this at all. However, when it is time, you'll be required to. However, you know, we mentioned at the beginning that everyone should have, you know, started the process of registering their business and opening a business account it is important to note that people who have submitted their business plans, who have given us their bank details, who have registered their business and uploaded their business registration will be given priority. And I'm going to say that here. So we're prioritizing those people. So if you have not started the process of registering your business, I don't know what you're doing. If you have not started the process of opening an account, I don't know what you're doing. It is not about TEF now. It is just standard business rule that as an entrepreneur who is ready to launch a successful business, you should have your business registered. You should have your bank details, your business account details open. You need to be investor ready. You cannot wait until you get an investor and you get money. That's when you now start the process of registering your business. You can meet any investor anywhere. You can meet the person while you're going to the market, in the supermarket, anywhere, and the person will tell you, can you quickly pitch your video in 2 minutes? And I'm ready to give you funding immediately. You can now tell the person that, oh, sorry, I have to go and register my business. The person is not going to take you seriously. The person will just think, oh, you're a joker, this person is not serious, and give the money to someone else who is ready. So it is very critical that we're investor ready and we have all of these documentations, registered. You have your business registered, you have your business account. So when somebody is ready to fund you to run a business or to start your business operations, you have that money and you have all the documentation to allow you get the funding. So we're going to place more priority on people who have given us their documentations and who have opened a business account. So I'll hand over to Foko quickly before I move to the next phase, which is around seed capital requirement and what you all signed in the MOU, which is a memorandum of understanding between the foundation and, of course, yourself. Over to you, Foko. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Ibukun. Can Adora go up? Okay, thank you. Donc, aujourd'hui, nous allons partager avec vous les questions que vous vous posez fréquemment. Donc, on va parcourir les questions et puis je vais apporter en français un ensemble d'éclairages qu'elle a essayé de faire. Donc, en question 1, il est question de savoir quand est-ce que la revue des pitchs finit. Donc, elle a dit, comme vous avez dit, que la revue des pitchs va finir en octobre. Donc, ça veut dire que tous vos business plans et les pitchs sont en train d'être revus. Et on vous l'a dit, certains ont reçu des emails où on disait vous serez contacté en début octobre, vous serez contacté en fin octobre, 3e semaine du mois d'octobre. Donc, ce qui est sûr, au mois d'octobre 2022, on va finir avec tout ce process. Donc, il y en a qui se posent la question, là, je suis au 2e point, est-ce qu'ils sont concernés par les feedbacks ou les retours qui sont faits par rapport à la revue de leur vidéo ou la revue de leur business plan. Donc, déjà, on dit que le fait qu'on vous réponde ne veut pas dire, please, you are going fast, please, Adawa, you are going fast. I am on point 2, thank you, thank you. OK. Donc, on dit le fait qu'on vous réponde ne signifie pas que vous êtes sélectionné ou non. C'est juste une revue de votre vidéo, une appréciation que la fondation a faite de votre vidéo et en fonction des critères qui ont été définis pour la présélection, vous pourrez passer à la phase suivante. Il y a un cabinet, il y a une tierce partie, donc des cabinets de consultants qui sont en train de revoir tous les business plans, de les évaluer et puis des retours vous sont faits progressivement. Donc, les critères sont les suivants. On va considérer les critères de zone, les critères de genre, les critères de performance des scores et les critères liés aux partenaires. Ça, on vous l'a toujours dit. Et surtout, les critères liés à la date d'envoi de vos vidéos ou de vos business plans. Donc, le redatage, on a peu d'exemples. Si on a 2 femmes qui ont exactement le même projet dans un même pays et que vous êtes par exemple 10 femmes, je dis n'importe quoi, et qu'on veut sélectionner 8, si vous avez exactement le même projet, on sélectionnera ceux qui ont soumissionné en premier. Donc, ça, c'est les contraintes de redatage. Donc, je me répète, les critères à considérer sont la zone, le genre, les scores ou les performances que vous avez fait à travers tout le processus que vous suivez depuis qu'on vous a sélectionné et bien évidemment, les critères liés aux partenaires. Il y a des partenaires qui vont donner les critères et en fonction de ces critères, vous êtes sélectionné. Thank you. Kaweko down, Adawara. Number 3. Donc, la 3e question que les gens se posent fréquemment, bien évidemment, on vous a dit, D'ici la 3e semaine du mois d'octobre, vous aurez les résultats de votre éligibilité ou pas. Donc, en 4e position, quand est-ce qu'on va avoir l'annonce de la sélection? On vous dit, les emails vont vous être envoyés si vous êtes sélectionné ou pas. Et on prévient déjà, si vous n'êtes pas sélectionné, vraiment, ce n'est pas la peine d'écrire à la fondation pour demander pourquoi. Il y a des critères qui ont été mis en place et toutes les équipes sont en train de travailler d'arrache-pied afin que les sélections soient justes et tiennent compte des critères. Vous avez été tous informés depuis le départ et on vous a entretenu tout au long de ce processus. En 4e question, il y a un lien qui apparaît à l'écran. À travers ce lien-là, vous pouvez tout savoir à quel niveau se trouve votre pitch, à quel est votre niveau d'évaluation. À travers ça, vous savez exactement à quelle étape se trouve votre projet vis-à-vis de la fondation. Please go down, Adora. Donc maintenant, il se passe que en 5e position, il se passe qu'il y en a, malgré toutes les explications et les guides qu'on a mis à votre disposition, il y en a qui ont choisi français et ont envoyé des vidéos en anglais, d'autres qui ont choisi anglais et ont envoyé des vidéos en français. La fondation a été claire depuis le début. On vous avait dit, si vous confondez de langue, vous êtes automatiquement disqualifié du programme. Donc ça, c'est des choses qu'on vous a expliquées tout au long de ce processus. C'est une disqualification automatique parce que imaginez-vous un évaluateur francophone qui tombe sur une vidéo en anglais. Qu'est-ce qu'il va comprendre à cela? Ou imaginez-vous un évaluateur anglophone d'expression anglaise qui tombe sur une vidéo où on s'exprime en français. Malheureusement, il ne pourra pas évaluer votre vidéo. Donc, on vous l'a dit, automatiquement, vous êtes éliminé du programme lorsque vous n'avez pas pris le soin, à votre propre diligence, vous n'avez pas pris le soin de choisir votre langue dès le départ. Donc, 6e question, please go down. 6e, I am on the 6.6, okay, thank you. Donc, 6e chose, ce sont vos détails bancaires. Il y en a qui posent la question, quand est-ce qu'ils doivent soumettre leurs détails bancaires? On vous l'a dit aussi depuis le début, les détails bancaires vont être demandés après la présélection finale. Donc, ce ne sont que ceux qui sont éligibles pour qui sont éligibles pour le capital d'amorçage. Ce n'est qu'à ces personnes qu'on va demander les détails bancaires. Et une précision importante, depuis le début de ce programme cette année, en 2022, on vous a dit d'être investor ready, c'est-à-dire d'être prêt à accueillir des investisseurs. Ce n'est pas quand vous tombez sur un investisseur que vous devez aller créer le compte bancaire. On vous l'a dit depuis le début. Votre entreprise doit être créée, votre compte bancaire doit être à jour. Vous devez déjà avoir le compte bancaire en fonction des critères qu'on vous a donnés. Quand dans les pays où il y a la banque UBA ou des pays où il n'y a pas de banque UBA. Donc, on vous dit bien, quand les présélections vont sortir, on ira droit au but. Si votre compte bancaire est prêt, on vous envoie l'argent. Si ce n'est pas prêt, ne venez pas vous plaindre après. C'est un concours, c'est que si tout le monde ne sera pas éligible, tout le monde ne peut pas avoir le financement. Donc, chers amis, voilà un bref résumé de ce que Adora a partagé avec nous. Thank you, Adora. On passe à la phase suivante. You have the floor, Ibukun.
Thank you so much, Foko. Thank you for always supporting us with the French translation. Thank you. Okay, so Adora is going to quickly share the seed capital, the MOU, which everyone signed, which is the participation agreement. And I hope everyone read the document thoroughly before accepting, just so we have an idea. And this is really just to share this now, because if you're eventually shortlisted for seed capital, so you know what the new processes are for seed capital and what is expected of you and what is expected of the foundation as well. So I'll just wait for Adora to quickly share that and we'll talk through. Adora, kindly share your screen. Thank you. Okay. So just to, Adora, please can you scroll to the beginning so that I'm able to read through. So beginning of seed capital, beginning, does it start from? Sorry. Okay.
Ibukun, your mic is mute.
Yeah, Foko, I know. We're waiting for Adora to share a screen. So sorry, everyone. Just a minute. So sorry. My sincere apologies again. So sorry. Okay, so I'm just going to wait for her to scroll up to the seed capital section, and I'll just go over it. And I hope everyone read this. There's a reason why I'm reiterating this, because it's very critical that everybody understands the seed capital process, the expectations from the foundation, and our own expectation of you as well. Adora, please scroll up to seed capital. Thank you. Okay, so Adora. Okay, I'm so sorry again. My sincere apologies. I don't know what's going on today. Well, there seems to be some issues with our network over here. So the city capital, as we mentioned, and I know everybody has read this. I'm expecting that everyone has read this. The selected entrepreneurs from the pitching competition. Pitching means after this pitch review phase of the program, also considering the criteria I listed, we will be shortlisted. The announcements will be on the foundation's website, and you will also be notified via email, as I mentioned earlier. And also the seed capital payment, into the selected entrepreneur's business account, will be done as well. So it means that you have to provide valid business account details. And when I mean valid, it means that you have to go to your bank, speak to your banker to say that, I'm on a program, I'm expecting funding, and I'd like to get my valid details. Everyone is going to send us a reference letter from their banks, and you're going to send it via email. In fact, your account officer is going to send us the reference letter. So that means it has to be an email from your account officer of your bank sending us a reference letter that shows your business account details and shows that you're indeed a customer of the bank and they have conducted their due diligence. They have received all your documentation and it is valid, and we can go ahead to proceed with paying you. Until we receive this letter from your bank, and we're going to painstakingly look through our emails to ensure that all selected entrepreneurs send that reference letter. So we don't want reference letters from the entrepreneurs. We want it from your account officer, from your bank. So your bank is going to send it to me as Ibukun, to my personal email, and also put in copy Adora and my new colleague, Tobina. So we're going to be in copy of that email, and we're going to painstakingly get each reference letter for each person that has been selected. We are doing a thorough process because from the experience from last year, when we tell people to upload documents, they upload blank paper documents that do not tie to what we have requested for. So going forward, we are also going to be very thorough with our process and ensure that every entrepreneur that receives seed capital has done the needful, and we have validated that, yes, indeed, you have done the needful. So that is the new process going on. For friends, and if you have friends and colleagues that are not on here, I'm so sorry, joining the program, please tell them to go back and read and listen to this video or share the information with them. Right? TA partner funded entrepreneurs will receive seed capital in line with the partner commitments, and this will be communicated in due course to program participants who will be funded by their partners. So, we have partners that fund additional entrepreneurs. We will let you know which partner is funding you, and we'll let you know more. We'll share more information about the program and about what the partner is expecting from you and what the commitments are. You'll definitely be notified via email. I'll take the third point and I'll hand over to Foko to quickly translate before we move to other points. So going forward, seed capital disbursements will be by payment into the selected entrepreneur's business account. So we're not paying into personal accounts. Please do not provide a personal account. I will not validate you. And I'm saying it here so everybody can hear. I love you guys. You guys are my, you're my G's, but we have to follow due process. There is nothing like, oh, we personal accounts in my country. Everybody must provide a valid business account details and valid documentation, tax receipts, everything must be provided. Your notarized document, we're going to share a template. So you go to Notary Public in your country. There are Notary Public offices across Africa, across all 54 African countries. Go there. They'll just charge you a little amount. They would validate your documents and they will stamp. All these documents we would receive before we validate you for payment. And going forward, payment is now 60 days after the day we receive your documentation. So 2 months. So we are not doing payments that, oh, we process payment today, you're expecting to get money in 2 days, in 1 day. That is no longer valid. From the day we receive your valid documents and we notify you that, yes, you have indeed provided all your valid documents to enable you receive seed capital, you will start counting 60 days from that day. So we don't want anybody sending us emails to say, oh, I sent my details a week after, I haven't gotten. No, it is now 60 days after receiving your valid documentations. Also, okay, so let me just hand over to Foko so I don't give him too much to translate so that everybody's carried along. So Foko, quickly translate these 3 points to French and I'll move to the next one. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ibukun. Please, I am not listening very well to the delay. You say 16 days or what? Please just repeat that part.
So from the day we receive your valid documents, your registration documents, all the documents we have required, from the day I confirm that I have received your valid documents and you're eligible to receive seed capital, you start counting 60 days from that day to receive payment. So it is a window period of 60 days for payment. So it is after 60 days you can complain and reach out to us to say, oh, I haven't received payment. I'm sorry, something is going on. But within that 60 days, you're not allowed to, because that's the window for you to receive your money. So that's what it means. Foko. Is that clear? Or do you want me to explain further?
Okay, no, it's clear now.
Okay.
Bon, ok, j'essaie de vous expliquer les détails qu'elle vient d'apporter. Donc, je ne vais pas aller dans le même ordre qu'elle parce que c'était assez long. Donc, elle essaye, là, on vous a présenté le MOU, le contrat que vous allez signer avec la fondation pour ceux qui vont être présélectionnés. Donc, on insiste sur une chose, vous serez payé dans des comptes bancaires valides. Please, there is something on the screen. Vous serez payé dans des comptes bancaires valides. Donc, pour cela, il faut qu'on insiste sur un aspect, c'est que c'est la banque qui doit envoyer à Ibukun, à Ador et le nouveau, ça veut dire Tobena, dans leur email, vos références bancaires. Parce que tous ceux qui sont présélectionnés, on va vous demander d'envoyer vos références bancaires. Et elle le dit pourquoi? Parce que par expérience, lorsqu'on demande aux entrepreneurs d'envoyer les références bancaires, il y en a qui envoient des documents qui sont vides, d'autres qui envoient des documents qui n'ont rien à voir avec ce qu'on demande malgré les explications. Donc, il dit cette année, dans le processus, il va vous être demandé d'envoyer directement dans leur email à 3. Il y aura des procédures, on va vous expliquer. Que le banquier envoie directement dans leur compte, si j'ai bien suivi, les références bancaires. Donc, il a aussi indiqué que pour cette année, comme les années antérieures, de toute façon, faites attention, on ne veut pas que vous envoyiez vos comptes personnels. Donc, on ne veut plus voir des gens qui vont venir dire, dans mon pays, ça se passe comme ça. Non. Ce qu'on attend de vous, ce sont des comptes bancaires professionnels ouverts au nom de votre entreprise et non à votre nom personnel. Donc, on précise bien, aucun argent ne sera viré dans des comptes privés. L'argent sera viré dans les comptes professionnels d'entreprise. Aucune excuse ne sera permise. Donc, il y a aussi le fait on va vous envoyer les documents notariés à faire signer dans tous les pays d'Afrique. Il y a des notaires, ils s'appellent en anglais des notaires publics, il y a des notaires. On vous enverra des modèles de lettres à signer. De grâce, ce qu'on attend de vous, c'est que vous fassiez signer ces lettres par des notaires autorisés et vous les envoyez à la fondation dans les conditions qui vont vous être expliquées. Donc, globalement, voilà ce qu'elle a essayé d'expliquer au niveau des procédures bancaires. Donc, on va vous envoyer l'argent dans vos comptes bancaires, pas d'argent à envoyer dans un compte privé et les documents qu'on va vous demander de notarier, de faire signer par un notaire de grâce, faites-les signer par un notaire. Donc, voilà, je ne vais pas être plus long. Elle répète beaucoup ce qu'elle dit. OK. On va tuer beaucoup. Bon, en passant, oui, elle dit quand vous envoyez le dossier complet, dans un délai de 2 mois, vous allez recevoir votre argent. Okay.
Thank you very much, Foko. Yeah, thank you very much for the translation. Okay, so disbursement, like I mentioned, is now 60 days from when we validate your documents and we tell you that you're eligible for funding. Also, you're required to undergo mandatory due diligence process and open a business account. This simply means that you're supposed to go to your bank, give them all your valid documents to allow you open a business account. So from your registration documents, your tax receipt, your utility bill that indicates where you live, all of those documentations, you need to take it to the bank. The bank will use those documentations to open a business account for you, which is what you're going to share with us. So the bank in return is going to validate you as their customer and confirm to us that they have indeed conducted a proper due diligence. They've done their KYC, which is know your customer. You are a customer, and we can, as a foundation, proceed with paying you the seed capital of $5,000. And in that same document, they're going to put your details there, your bank details. So if you're from a non-UBA country, your intermediary bank or correspondent bank details, your IBAN number, SWIFT code, all of that information must be accurate. And what we want going forward is we want the bank to send that document to us. It's going to be a very long and manual process, but it is better we, do a thorough job and get it right and ensure that all entrepreneurs who will receive funding give us valid documentations. And it is indeed from the bank that has opened a business account for them. So that is what is required. And please note that if you're from Nigeria, you're going to be receiving your payments in Naira because we cannot disburse in dollar. We're not a dollar denominated country. We transact in Naira. Hence, your funding will be in Naira. And we're going to be using the CBN rate as at the day of selection or on the day that you have been validated to receive your payments. So kindly note, so we don't pay in dollars for entrepreneurs that are from Nigeria. Even if you're a partner, if a partner is funding you, we're going to pay you in Naira. We can't pay you in foreign currency. For entrepreneurs from non-UBA countries, we'll receive their funding in Naira. For entrepreneurs from non-UBA countries, we'll receive the equivalent of that amount in their local currencies, if you're from countries where we have UBA present. So just to clarify that again, and I'm sure that a lot of you know this already, but it's just good to keep, sharing more information about this and providing clarity so everyone is carried along and everyone knows what the foundation is doing. To receive the seed capital, the selected entrepreneurs must comply with all our applicable requirements. So like I mentioned, you cannot give us a business account that has a personal name and say, oh, in my country, it's personal names. There's nothing like that. It has to be your business name. And that name must be, indicated on your business registration document. And it should, in a case where you have a partner, you must provide us with a partner's consent form, indicating your partner, indicating your board. If you have a board of advisory board, everybody that is tied to that company, you must provide their information. Because we've seen cases where entrepreneurs will come back to say, oh, they won't give us the partner consent form when they're having issues with that partner that we're not aware of. They expect the foundation to perform magic and, intervene because they're most likely having issues over funding and sharing the money. So you must provide a partner's consent form saying that my partner has consented to this and knows that I'm receiving $5,000 and this money is going to be channeled towards our business operations. So very, very critical. So it is mandatory. Our due diligence is going to be very thorough this year and very comprehensive. So please, whatever documents, whatever requirements that we have asked for, please ensure to provide and provide within the timeline or deadline we have given you. Once you exceed that deadline or timeline, you will no longer be eligible. Also to say that, going back to what I said earlier about going to your banker to get your full details, your valid details, so we're not paying. We've seen cases where we pay money to an entrepreneur's account and the money is returned more than 5 times, 6 times. Please note that you're allowed a time frame for us to pay you that money. If your money is returned, we can do that repayment twice. After the second time, and your money is returned again, please note that you will no longer be eligible for that seed money, for that seed capital. Hence, we're saying go to your bank and ask for valid information. Hence, we're saying that your bank should send a reference letter indicating your valid business account details, your account number, account name, business name, everything must be in that letter, in the body of that letter. Because when you do that, I don't think that we should have any issues processing money to you. We shouldn't have any issues once we do that. So please, it's very important that we take note of all of this. If you have colleagues that are not here, kindly share this information. We will share this as an email tomorrow for people to rewatch this video so that entrepreneurs are eventually eligible for seed capital, understand what the process is. And I hope that, like I mentioned earlier, everybody has read this terms and conditions because you have accepted. So it's always critical to read an agreement before you sign so that, because you're giving your consent, so which means that you cannot deviate from what you have accepted or you have consented to. So it's very critical. So any entrepreneur who does not meet the requirements for the disbursement of seed capital within the stipulated timeline shall not receive seed capital and will be categorized as a TEF trainee, which means you will only be categorized as someone who has received training from the foundation and not necessarily a beneficiary, which means you haven't received funding and you will not be allowed to join our alumni network. So that's the simple definition of that, right? Selected entrepreneurs are not is not entitled to receive seed capital after the close of the program. So after the close of the program, if you do not follow our required, or you don't provide all the required documentation, you don't follow our timelines, you will not be eligible for seed capital, especially when the program has ended, as a result of not meeting all these requirements within the applicable timeline. So it's just clear, very simple and straight to the point. You need to ensure that you do what is expected of you, within the timeline that we have provided or we have shared with you, so that you don't come back begging when the program has closed to say, oh, please help me, please help me. Hence, we're having these conversations now, and we'll continue to have these conversations so everybody's carried along, everybody's aware of the new processes, and everybody has a proper understanding of what is expected of them. I think, Adora, you can stop sharing. Thank you so much, Adora, for sharing your screen. I think we have our Director of Operations here, but I can't find him again because I was going to introduce him. So we have a new Director of Operations at the foundation, like I mentioned earlier. I'll hand over to Foko shortly. His name is Mr. Arinze Udenka. He has a lot of experience, handling programs such as the Tony Melu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. So he's coming with a lot of experience, and you guys will meet him soon. He's going to be a familiar face very soon. So if he's able to join before we end the session, we will do a proper introduction so you can meet him and see him. But if not, subsequent sessions that we'll have, you will definitely meet him. So I'll hand over to Foko. Adora, please share the screen for Foko so Foko can translate to French. Thank you very much. And once Foko is done, we'll take questions and answers and we'll round up the session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ibukun. Donc, pour la suite, je vais reprendre un peu un certain nombre de choses sur lesquelles elle est une fois de plus revenue. Donc, il est dit dans le point, par exemple, 5.25, que tous les entrepreneurs sélectionnés devront suivre une procédure de diligence personnelle très stricte doivent avoir suivi une procédure afin d'ouvrir un compte bancaire valide. Et ce compte bancaire doit être au nom de leur affaire, au nom de leur entreprise. et non à leur nom personnel. Ça, c'est très important. Pour les pays où il n'y a pas de la banque UBA, on admet que ce compte soit ouvert dans une autre banque. Mais pour les pays où il y a UBA, ce compte doit être ouvert dans la banque UBA. Donc ça, c'est important à signaler. Et ça, on vous l'a dit depuis le début. Et il est signalé que pour toute personne que pour les entrepreneurs qui sont au Nigeria, ils ne seront pas payés en dollars, ils seront payés directement en naira. Parce que le naira est la monnaie qui a cours au Nigeria. Ils ne seront pas payés en dollars. OK. Donc, sur le point de 526, elle signale que vous devez suivre toutes les diligences et qu'il y a des procédures très strictes qui ont été mises en place. Pour cela, tout le monde doit respecter les délais. À chaque temps, on vous donnera des délais pour pouvoir faire un certain nombre d'opérations, pour pouvoir faire un certain nombre de choses, les envoyer à la fondation d'après le processus qu'on vous expliquera. Il est important que tout le monde puisse respecter cela et bien faire les diligences qui reviennent à toute personne. Plus quand on go up à Daora. Donc, on dit les entrepreneurs qui ne pourront pas obéir dans les délais, qui ne pourront pas respecter les délais, forcément ne pourront pas recevoir leur encaissement. Et s'ils ne reçoivent pas leur encaissement, ils seront retrogradés au rang d'entrepreneurs ayant reçu la formation et non les entrepreneurs ayant reçu le capital d'amorçage. Parce que comme vous le savez, il y a plusieurs catégories et on vous recommande de bien lire ce protocole, de bien le lire et de poser vos questions. Donc, je me répète, les actes, le point 527, les entrepreneurs qui n'auront pas pu encaisser leur argent alors qu'ils ont été présélectionnés seront retrogradés au grade des entrepreneurs qui ont suivi la formation. Et il y a une différence entre entrepreneurs ayant suivi la formation et entrepreneurs ayant reçu les financements. Parce que pour ceux qui vont recevoir leur financement, effectivement, qui vont pouvoir décaisser leur argent, les $5,000, on va donc les reverser dans le réseau des alumni, dans le réseau des anciens de la fondation. Et ils seront donc membres de la fondation, membres du réseau des anciens. Donc, si vous êtes présélectionné et que vous ne réussissez pas à obtenir votre argent, on vous retrograde au nom d'entrepreneurs formés. Ceux qui reçoivent leur argent passent au rang d'entrepreneurs ayant reçu l'argent et ils sont reconnus comme étant des anciens entrepreneurs. Il y a une bonne différence entre les deux. Donc maintenant, au point 528, les entrepreneurs qui ne vont pas pouvoir recevoir leur argent dans les délais oubliés. Personne ne recevra l'argent après les délais qu'on vous donnera. Le programme a un délai. Après ce délai-là, sans le dire par expérience. Personnellement, j'ai eu des gens qui m'écrivent 2 ans après la fin du programme pour dire où est leur argent, qu'en est-il. On vous dit après les délais qu'on vous donne, le programme a un début, le programme a une fin. Après ce délai, personne ne reçoit plus de l'argent. Next point, I don't know if it is the end. OK, je pense que voilà tout ce que Adora a eu à expliquer. Je pense. OK, thank you, Ibukun.
All right, thank you very much, Foucault. Thank you. I appreciate. So questions. If you have any questions, please drop it in the chat. I will just allot, I'll give us like 15 minutes for questions. So please drop it in the chat. My colleagues are working very actively to get your questions and I'll provide clarity or provide answers. So yeah.
Si vous avez des questions, posez-les dans le chat box de YouTube, on va vous répondre. Elle a aussi annoncé que le nouveau directeur des opérations vous sera présenté. Actuellement, il n'est plus en ligne. Elle dit quand il sera en ligne, on vous le présentera, soit aujourd'hui, soit plus tard. Après les questions, ça sera la fin de session. Donc, envoyez vos questions, s'il vous plaît.
Okay, so I have some questions here. So I'll just read through and quickly provide answers to them. Okay, so the first question is, since you're saying you will also consider those who submitted first, how will you treat those who submitted 1 week before submission deadline? So if you understand the concept of what I said about submission first, I did not say it's a criteria. Timestamp, which is submitting first, comes into play when there is a tie. So it's very important that you note that. we are not just using submitting first as a criteria. It will only happen when I have 2 Nigerians I have selected that are both from Nigeria. They have the same score. Then to break the tie, it's like when you have people that have 100, and you have to pick one person. How do you pick one person? You will look at, okay, who submitted the assignment first? Or, who answered the question first? That is the only way to break a tie. So timestamp comes into play when there is a tie. It is not necessarily a criteria. We will only use the timestamp to break a tie when we have 2 people that have similar scores or the same score and are from the same country and are of the same gender. So I hope that is clear so that we don't, give a different meaning to what I have said, please. Very important. So the other question is, I did not submit my business account details on pitching platform. Will I be given another opportunity? As I said, people who submitted their business registration and bank details, when we told them to, we will give priority. So I'm not saying that you will not, be given an opportunity. Of course, if you're shortlisted, yes, you will, but we're giving those people priority because they submitted when we asked them to, and they followed all our requirements, and they did before the timeline. So there's a clear difference between you and that person. Hence, we're going to give that person more priority. So I hope that provides a lot of, you clearly understand what I mean by giving those people more priority. Then somebody said, I love the way you mentioned the word entrepreneur. Thank you very much for that comment. My video has not been reviewed. Is this a problem? If your video has not been reviewed now, it clearly means that you most likely uploaded in another language. But your video should have been reviewed. I will check because we're closing out on review next week. So if it has not been reviewed, just exercise patience. You'll get a response soon. Talk about the review. The reviewers have a problem. They're not following the TF template description. They ignore the word count, especially. So like I mentioned, business plan and pitching is not the only criteria. They are reviewing it as any world-class audit company would do, right? It doesn't necessarily have to follow. They are scoring you based on what the criteria is. However, they still have to give you a thorough feedback because that is not a comprehensive business plan that you can use to benchmark any other world-class business plan. So please take this feedback and take the areas of improvement. It's not for you to come back to the foundation to, say, oh, this is the feedback. It's for you to update what you have because not everybody has the opportunity to get such feedback. And you also want a document that you can use for other funding opportunities. So see this feedback as a positive and not a negative. Update your business plan. Look at what they have commented on and see how you can improve it and make your business plan top notch and your video. So when next you're going for any other funding opportunity, you can confidently say, what, this thing has been reviewed. I've done what I needed to do. And my business plan is solid. And it's something that I can use to benchmark any other business plan in the world. So that is the most important and the most critical at this point. Because the scores for business plan and pitch is not the only thing that we're looking out for. And it's not the only criteria for selection. And I've mentioned this so many times. So it's very important that we note this. So the next questions. On the pitch platform, they asked if our business was registered. I did not see any place for uploading. It was definitely there. If you did not see it, you did not check. A lot of people uploaded their business documents. So if you didn't see it, most likely you didn't check. What if the bank account includes both personal? No. So what is not, so I can have Ibukun Enterprises. I decide to use my name. As far as it is your business name that has been approved by the business registration body in your country, it is valid. What we're saying is we see people's name as Ibuko Duride, and there's no enterprise, there's no limited, there's nothing, and it doesn't even tally with their business registration document, or they don't even have a business registration document that indicates it is a business. That we will not accept. So please, it is very important that when you're going or when you're about to register or you've started the process of registering, you consider all of this because it's critical and we'll be checking this. It's not here. Focus is not on here anymore. The next question, does that mean reviewers can't make mistakes? What about those whose business plan was plagiarized, whereas they wrote it themselves? So if your business plan was duplicated by somebody else, that error came from you because you most likely left that document for people to plagiarize. You can't, who is going to duplicate your business plan from our end here? So if you left your business plan for somebody else to copy and they duplicated it, then that's you. That's you not keeping your document properly. Because we're also looking out for people that have the same, we have lots of people that have the same business plan, and it is not acceptable. So if you wrote your business plan yourself and you left it for someone else to dub and copy, you will take full responsibility for it. It's not the foundation to take responsibility, nor the company or the audit firm that is reviewing, because we're only reviewing what you have provided. We can't tell if somebody copied you or not. So you will take full responsibility for that. Please, do we need to validate every document or only the other? You will validate all your documentations with your bank. Your bank is going to send us a reference letter indicating that they have checked and validated all your documents. They have conducted KYC. They will give us your bank details. They will send, so it's your account officer that will send that email from the bank to us. Until then, you'll be validated to receive funding if you are selected. If I get a rejected recommendation, so no state capital, like I mentioned, disregard the recommendation. There's still an eligibility selection process that will go on, which is why I said performance from business plan and pitching is not the only criteria. There are other criteria that we look at, and we highlighted those criteria. So not everyone will be selected, right? We're not selecting everybody. We're selecting a certain number. So if you're not selected, do not feel bad, do not feel distraught. Please try again and, be resilient and just stay focused. And eventually you will get funding for your business. That's a guarantee. Good day, TF team. Please, I would like to find out if it's too late to submit my bank details. We haven't opened any portal to submit your bank details. So until you're eligible or you're selected, then you can now provide your bank details. But please ensure that you have all this information ready. If we select you and you tell us, oh, I have not registered my business, it will take me 2 months, we will remove your name and give to somebody else that is ready. So please, this is very, very important. And we're taking this process very seriously this time around. If you are selected, start the process of registering your business and opening an account. Be investor ready. It is a standard business rule. It is not a rule from the foundation. It is standard business rule across the world to be investor ready. Look at Google, look at other organizations. They don't fund entrepreneurs who do not have registered businesses or a business account that is running. They will not fund you. So it's very important. So I'll take the last question. Will the 60 days be determined by everyone's submissions or personal submissions? It will be determined by personal submissions. So from the day you submit, we're going to give you a timeline to submit. If everybody submits on that day and we validated that all your documents are complete, you're eligible for funding, everyone will count from that day. But we have some exceptional cases sometimes, but that doesn't mean that we're following that, but we're following the timeline that has been laid out. It's very important. So somebody said, this is from Tukula. Hi, Bokun. A recommendation that says entrepreneur cannot be evaluated as business plan is not visible. What can be done? Nothing can be done, which means the reviewer was unable to review because they could not either watch your video was not playing, or it wasn't accessible, or your video was in another language different from the language that the reviewer would be reviewing in. So that means that business plan will not be reviewed. So sorry, my sincere apologies. So I think I've been able to answer a lot of questions. So we're going to end that here. We're still going to have another session next week or upper week once shortlisting is done. And I'm very excited to meet everyone again after a long time. And thank you for, joining. It's always not easy streaming live. I know, you have to spend money on data and all of that, but thank you for your dedication. Thank you for staying persistent. Thank you for, constantly engaging us and, wanting to hear from the foundation. We do not take it for granted. We really appreciate it. And I'll just say thank you again. So I don't waste our time. We're going to end the session now so that people can get back to their daily activities. So I don't know, Adora, and Tobe, do you guys have anything to say? Please let them see your face. Say hi to everyone, and then we can end the session. So thank you. So I'll just hand over to Adora and Tobina to, show their faces and say hi to everyone, and then we would end the session. So thank you very much. And have a wonderful day. And please, you can reach us via email, enquiries@tonyelmelufoundation.org. In as much as, people call a lot, but please just send an email to Enquiries. We'll respond to you. Sometimes we get lots of emails, but we're trying as much as possible to engage and respond to everyone within the turnaround time that's been stipulated. So if we don't respond to you, we're not ignoring you. We haven't forgotten you. It's just because we're trying to respond to everyone at the same time. And it takes time. So please bear with us. And it's not intentional. So please, let's see you. Your video. Is Poco here? No, so you shouldn't worry, we're ending the session. Okay. So I think Tobe is having an issue with his video. Adora, you can share with Adora, let them see you. So that's Tobina. Tobina is our new team member on the operations, the entrepreneurship program. So hi, Tobina. Say hi to everyone, Tobina. Just wave.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tobina, a new member of the foundation.
All right. So thank you for joining us and have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.